Welcome to the French Tech Podcast. We're here at the end of the second day of the Women's Forum Asia in Singapore, and I'm talking to Natalia Cano from Google. Hi, welcome.
Hello.
So earlier, during one of the panels, you spoke about redefining and creating a new narrative on the participation of women in STEM. Could I ask you to elaborate a little bit on that?
Yes, definitely. So this is a narrative that we cannot create alone. We need an army to create this narrative. We need to join forces between the private and the public sector so that we make sure that women can access STEM education early on. Ultimately, the issue that we're seeing with women's access to STEM is a pipeline issue. Women do not feel they have the right skills in order to learn these new skills. And we need to make sure that access to STEM happens earlier on in the careers of women. Even at school, within university, it's so important to teach women about skills related to STEM.
So you say it's a pipeline issue, and you say it's early to get involved as early as possible. Could you perhaps tell us a little bit about the different challenges at different points at that pipeline?
Yes, there are different challenges. One of the biggest challenges is that girls or women who live in rural areas do not have access to STEM education. Also, those women or girls who come from poorer backgrounds or low income families. So that is one of the problems. Another of the problems is also a confidence issue. A lot of girls and women think that STEM is not for them, that it is too difficult. We need to demystify this the same way as we need to demystify that STEM is not something fun or enriching. We have seen that STEM is one of the key skills needed for the future of jobs. It is in demand. If you want to have a career in AI, if you want to be a data scientist, you need to learn STEM. So it is definitely very important.
And also, it's not something that's going to go away in the future, right? The demand for these kinds of profiles will supposedly only grow in the future.
That's right. We see that it's one of the top skills needed, and it is important to be good at STEM, but also to master soft skills. So, in order to have a successful career path, it is true you need to learn about STEM, such as coding, computational thinking, problem solving, but you also need to know the soft skills, which are equally important, such as networking, communication. Um, Attention to detail, organization skills, these are also key.
Now, there is a general feeling, right, that the participation of women in tech is low. But could you perhaps give us a sense of scale of that participation?
Yes, that is totally right. Just to give you an example, only 20% of the people working in AI or data scientist roles are women. And this is not okay, right? Women simply do not have access to AI skills. They do not know where to learn AI. They do not know where to find the resources around AI. They think it is not for them. It is important to demystify that, to make sure that women can access AI learning and that they can do it early on, as we mentioned before.
There's a lot of talk. There's been some talk at this conference about biases when it comes to AI, if that field is exclusively male-dominated, both in terms of data sets and perhaps in terms of algorithm design. Is that something that you're thinking about as well?
No, I mean, we think that women are equally talented as men to learn about AI, and they should be given the opportunity to do so. At Google, for instance, we teach AI on the job as part of on the job training, and we see this is very beneficial for the women, especially because a lot of them don't have the time or don't know where to go in order to study AI, and if they can do it on the job, it is more relevant to their career. It is easier for them to access, and it's also easier for them to combine with their work-life balance.
And could you perhaps elaborate on some of Google's other efforts of addressing the participation of women in tech gap and to promote inclusion?
Yes, so Google has a program that is called Grow with Google, and what we do is we teach skills to women, digital skills, but also the soft skills that I was mentioning before. Overall, we've trained 40 million people in Asia and Pacific on new skills required for the future of jobs, and out of this 40 million, over 50% are women. We also teach women in rural India, even how to access the internet, right? How to start their own business. These are key skills that people, especially women, need in order to find better opportunities, in order to find a job or advance their career, grow their business. They need these skills.
14 million people, that's a giant number. Are most of those here in Asia, or is it really worldwide?
It's only in Asia. We've been doing this
Right.
since 2016. One of the benefits of the program is that it's free. Anyone can access our free digital skills training. You can access it in person or you can do it online through our learning platform. And as I mentioned before, it's free. We even have digital bus tours where we go to the remote villages to teach women skills like STEM.
That's amazing. I think that's so important, right? In getting these women the opportunities that they need to become economically more competitive and thus have their whole ecosystem, their whole community thrive. Um, what are some of the skills that you're teaching them? You lightly touched on digital skills. What do those entail?
Yes, so it's basic digital skills like how to use Gmail or how to open a computer, but also more advanced skills such as machine learning, coding. We also teach soft skills like how to prepare for an interview, how to network and communicate with your colleagues at work. So it's a wide spectrum of skills. One thing I would say is that what they have in common is that they're all skills needed for the future of work, for the future of jobs.
Right, because exactly as you mentioned earlier, those skills are going to be in ever increasing demand, and we need to prepare these women now to be perhaps the next generation of leaders in tech.
Yes, that's correct.
That's terrific. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today, Natalia.
Thank you. My pleasure.